So we're back at the Browns franchise episode right here, and today we're going to do a 2017 team overview. So just complete the draft and the preseason, so let's go do a team overview. So first things first, the Cleveland Browns. So QB, you have a franchise QB up in the comings, up in the making. Keeper Pop, 70 overall, 23 years old. He's pretty good. You got Robert Griffin III. You got Cody Kessler as the backup of the backup. Running backs right now, you have Duke Johnson, Isaiah Crowell, you got Stephen Locker, and we got Mike Allen. Two guys we just drafted last year, or we drafted this guy this year, and we picked them up in undrafted free agency. And then fullbacks, you got Vince Hanks. Wide receivers, we got Corey Coleman, Kenny Stills, Roland Marmorosa, Malcolm Gilmore, undrafted free agent, Josh Gordon, and Ricardo Lewis. Tight end, we got Thierry Barnage, DORIAL GREEN-BECKHAM, who we converted to a tight end, and we got Joseph Foria. Left tackle, we got Joe Thomas, 99 overall, 32 years old. Left guard, we got Joel Bitonio still. Center, we just drafted a franchise center, I guess you can call him franchise center, and Cody Warfield in the draft. 80 overall, 21 years old. Plus, if you look at his player card, he's got that quick development, it's pretty good. Then we have Alvin Bailey as the backup. And right guard, we got John Greco, and we got Antoine Grace, we drafted. Right tackle, we got Julius Creighton, who we just drafted this year. So we drafted a completely new offensive line besides left tackle and left guard, I believe. So it's looking really good for our offensive line this season for good rookies. But we got Julius Creighton, and we do have SEBASTIan VOLLMER, who we signed in the free agency. Then next up is the left end. We got Emmanuel Ogba, we converted to a left end. Last year we got Ofuma Kamalu. I don't know how to say it well, but I think I said it right. Right end, we got Carl Nassib, 76 overall. He's doing very well. And we got Charles Tapper. Right defensive tackle now, we have Danny Shelton, 76 overall, 24 years old. We got Siliga, we got Antavio Blue, we drafted, and we got Rashad McGowan, who we signed in the free agency. He's looking very good this season, though. Let's move on to left inside linebacker. We got Courtney Upshaw, we just signed in the free agency, and then we got Nate Orchard. Middle linebacker, we got Demario Davis, so 79 overall, 28 years old. We got Ali Godfrey, we drafted in the draft. Then we got Christian Kirksey and Donald Butler. Right outside linebacker, we got Junior Gillette, and we got Sam Mako. Cornerback, we got Joe Hayden, Quan Williams, Justin Gilbert, Marcus Williams, and we got Steven Nelson. Free safety, we got Raheem Moore Sr., we got Brady McDougald, and we got Tyrone Looker. And then strong safety, we got Will Hill III, and we got Ibrahim Campbell, I think? I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but then kicker, we got Travis Coons. Punter, we got Sam Martin, and that's about it. So, and here's our practice squad too, just before the season. So that's the entire practice squad and all kind of stuff. That was the Cleveland Browns for the season. Let's go and quickly go and I guess brief over the rest of the teams in the NFL, like quarterbacks and that. So let's move on to the Buccaneers. So Buccaneers, they have Jameis Winston still in there. We'll just quickly go through this. DeMartin on there. Wide receivers is still got Mike Evans and so on. Really don't need to go through offensive line and all kind of stuff. So that's their roster. Just go down there. And then next up is the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, they still have Tyrann Mathieu. They got quarterback. They got Case Keenum now, Jimmy Garoppolo, and they got Brad Sorensen. And then I think the running backs are the same too. But Chargers, they got Phillip Rivers still. Go over their rosters. So rosters, same thing. Joey Bosa, 87 overall, 22 years old. He went up. But next up is the Chiefs. The Chiefs, Kansas City. I don't know if they really changed much. They still have Alex Smith, a quarterback. Everything's about basically the exact same. They still have Jamal Charles and all kind of stuff. Let's go on a roster though, and see the Colts. So the Colts, they got practically the same roster as always. They had Andrew Luck, they got Vontae Davis, they got T.Y. Hilton. Basically the same roster as always. Then move on to the Cowboys. Cowboys, I think they changed. I'm not sure. Quarterback. Oh no, they still have Tony Romo. They got Dak Prescott still, and so on. So running backs exact same. Ezekiel and 84 overall, looking pretty good there. But let's go on to the next team. So next team, Dolphins. So the Dolphins, I don't believe they changed either. Yeah, they still have Tannehill. 70 overall. He's doing terrible this season, at least last season. But I'm pretty sure it's still the same. Oh, you know, they got a new running back, I guess, in Ajaya. But let's go move on to the next team, which is the Eagles. The Eagles, I think Carson Wentz was up there for MVP last year. 82 overall, 24 years old. I think he finished top 5 in MVP last season. Plus, the Eagles had a pretty good season last year. But let's move on to the next team, which is the Falcons. So Falcons, I think same old. The Falcons, they still have Matt Ryan, obviously 84 overall. Running backs, they still have, I believe, they have Devontae Freeman. Same old thing. But 49ers, I think 49ers have changed the most. So quarterback, they just drafted Cole Colvin first overall last year, 84 overall, 23 years old. He's basically Kiefer Pop's rival for his career, almost, basically. But they got Colin Kaepernick still, and so they got rid of Blaine Gabbert on here, but let's see the running backs. Running backs, they still have Carlos Hyde, and so on. So let's go move on to the next team, which is the Giants. The Giants don't really mean, they obviously have Odell Beckham Jr., 95 overall. They got same old guy, same old thing. I think Eli's still in there. Yep, 80 overall. Let's move on to the Jaguars. Jaguars, Blake Bortles won MVP last year. His first season, I believe they had like 12 or 11 wins last season. They had a great season last year. I think they lost the Patriots. I'm pretty sure it was the Patriots in the championship game, but or not the championship game, but the game before. But let's go into the Jets. The Jets, they have Holman Wilkerson still. They got Sheldon Richardson. Quarterback, they do have a new quarterback in Drew Brosell. So I think he was drafted this year. And they got Blaine Gabbert on here, 72 overall, 27 years old, as a backup. Running back, they changed. Nope, Matt Forte. Receivers, they still have Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, and so on. Let's go on to the next team. So the next team got the Lions. The Lions, I think they're the same old team since last year. They still have Stafford. And I think that's about it. Let's move on to the next team, the Packers. Packers, Aaron Rodgers and the crew still on there. Nobody really changed. Eddie Lacy's still in the Packers. Panthers, same old team again. No new quarterback. Patriots, they changed. So obviously Tom Brady retired. He finished second in MVP, and the Patriots won another Super Bowl too. So over the Seahawks in the final again. But quarterback, they do have a new quarterback in Richard Rutherford, who got the start this week, I believe in week 1, 2017 season. Plus, they do have Geno Smith on here too for some reason. So, they got 2 quarterbacks who might be starting this year. But running backs, they actually know they got rid of them. So they got Jeremy Hill this year. Oh yeah, they traded for Jeremy Hill. I remember that. So they traded for Jeremy Hill from the Bengals, I believe, and they just re-signed him to like a 4-year deal. So he'll be there for a while. But let's move on to the next team, which is the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders, same old team. Khalil Mack, 97 overall. Amari Cooper, 88. And they still have, I believe, Derek Carr, quarterback, 84 overall. So same old team there. The Rams, I don't know if Jared Goff's is good. He's 80 overall. I think he's decent, but he's not really that good compared to Carson Wentz. Running back, they still have Todd Gurley, 86 overall, 23 years old, and so on. Ravens are a tricky team to beat, though, in this game. Every time I play in the gameplay episodes, Justin Forsett just turns into a beast. I don't know how he does it, but the Ravens, they do have Terrell Suggs still, Derek Weddle, they got Doomerville still. I mean, same old team. Justin Tucker, I mean, like quarterback, they still have Joe Flacco, so nothing changed there. Next team up, Redskins, same team there again. Kirk Cousins still at the helm at quarterback, and running back, I believe they still have, Matt Jones there. So let's move on to rosters. So rosters, Saints, I don't think they changed either. They still have Drew Brees at quarterback, 89 overall, 38 years old. I think he still threw for 5,000 yards last year, so he's just still killing it. But running back, they have Mark Ingram still, and so on. But let's move on to the next team, which is the Seahawks. Seahawks made the Super Bowl last year. I think they got embarrassed by the Patriots. I'm not sure, but they're basically the same team. They got obviously Russell Wilson. Running back, they do have Thomas Rawls still. I mean, same team. Roster, let's move on to the Steelers. Exact same team. They got Big Ben. They got Antonio Brown. Yeah, basically the same team. Texans, they do have J.J. Watt, 99 overall. DeAndre Hopkins, 95. Jadeveon Clowney, 86 overall. Quarterback, still Brock Osweiler, 78 overall. Not the greatest, but he's still just doing well. Move on to roster and to the Titans. So the Titans, they do have, I think they're the same team. Quarterback, they do have Marcus Mariota, 84 overall. Didn't really move up much at all. Running back, they do have DeMarco Murray, still 81 overall, and so on. But I did trade for DORIAL GREEN-BECKHAM last season. So the receivers, they did add Ruben Randall on here. They have Rashad Matthews and so on. But let's move on to the last team, I think. The last team. No, we still have a few more teams to go. Vikings on here, the Vikings. They're the same old team. Still have Teddy Bridgewater, 84 overall. This is before I did they were traded for Sam Bradford, so that's why he's not on there. But they have AP under 90 overall. Who else? Wide receivers, basically the same team. Stephon Diggs, best wide receiver on there still. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Bears. The Bears, I think they got a new quarterback this year. Well, they got Fitz, 80 overall, 34-year-old Ryan Fitzpatrick. Jay Cutler is the backup, and Thomas Savage, I believe. Tom Savage. Running back, they have Theo Reddick, 84 overall, 26 years old. And I think that's about it, the same of the old team over there in Chicago. But next up is the Bengals. So the Bengals, AJ Green still on the team. Andy Dalton still killing over there in Cincinnati. Wide receivers, yeah, same team basically. Comes the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go through there. Bills, they still have the same team too. Basically every single team is almost the same. They have Tyler Taylor 80 overall, 28 years old. Running back, they do have LaShawn McCoy, 84 overall. They have Carlos Williams Sr., 281 overall, 24 years old. So basically same team. Let's move on to the next team, which is the Broncos. So the Broncos, last team on here, they have Von Miller, Let's see who they have quarterback. Quarterback, they have Paxton Lynch, 80 overall, 23 years old. And Travis Simeon, 61 overall, 25 years old before he was playing as a starter. So that's why his overall isn't up. But let's move on to running back. Running back, they still have CJ Anderson. Wide receivers, Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas still on there, and so on. So NFL didn't really change much since last year. We did draft a few QBs like Cole Coleman, obviously a major addition to the 49ers. We have a brand new team practically. Our team is just completely different. But anyway, that was the 2017 team overview. Our team looks pretty sick to start off the season. I believe we might win maybe 9 games this season. I'm not sure, but with a team like this, are bound to at least win maybe 1 playoff game. I'm not sure. So I guess I'll end this episode off right here. Next episode will be this game 1 at Baltimore between the Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. So I guess I'll end this episode off right here. Make sure to like, subscribe for more Browns franchise mode. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.